Hi, kindergarten friends. I am back here to talk more about nonfiction reading. And when I was thinking about our new unit on nonfiction books, I asked my son Max, who's a first grader, about what type of nonfiction stories he really likes. So, one of the things he told me was he loves learning and reading about snakes. He has always loved snakes. We have a ton of rubber snakes around our house, and he even hides them in places and tries to scare us with them. So he really loves learning about snakes. And then another thing he told me was race cars. So I am going to be going around my house trying to collect some cool nonfiction books that we have. But for the lesson today, I want to teach you that you can also find fiction and nonfiction stories maybe around your house. But not only that, but you can sort them into books that are fiction or nonfiction. So you can actually ask yourself, is this a fiction story or is this a nonfiction story? And you could even make two different piles of those books. So I want to remind you that fiction books that we've worked on a lot this year tell you stories. They're fun stories about characters like Mrs. Wishy-Washy or Elephant and Piggy, those fun characters we've read over and over in kindergarten. But nonfiction books are kind of more learn about the world books where they're going to actually teach you really cool stuff about the world. So in my introduction, I mentioned that to me, reading nonfiction is kind of like a vacation because you get to learn about all these cool things that you might not get to see or experience every day. So I have a big pile of books in my lap, and I want you to watch me as I try to figure out if my stories are fiction or nonfiction, okay? So the first one I have is called The Sun is Kind of a Big Deal, and inside this book, it looks like it's teaching about the sun. I see other planets that I know about. So I'm going to say that, I even see labels and headings. I'm going to say that this is a nonfiction book. It's probably teaching me stuff about the sun. So that's going to go in my nonfiction pile. I have another book here, my favorite author and my favorite characters. This is an Elephant and Piggy story. The title is Watch Me Throw the Ball. In this book, there's characters, there's illustrations. I see Elephant and Piggy. They're always up to something silly, telling a silly story. So I think this is a fiction book. I think it's telling me a fun story. So I'm going to put it in my fiction pile. Next, I have Pete the Cat story and the Lost Tooth. I know Pete the cat is a really funny character, and it's about losing I think when he lost a tooth, and it's a silly story about the tooth fairy. So I'm going to say that this is also a fiction book. It's telling me a fun story. And then the last book I have is this book. The title again is Dolphins. And this one, I already think I have an idea that it's probably a nonfiction book because look, it's going to teach me all about dolphins in the story. Okay, so I want you to remember today that you guys also can sort books into nonfiction piles and you can find fiction stories, okay? So stay tuned. I'm going to show you a really cool activity that you guys are going to get to do today or this week that you can practice sorting books into nonfiction and fiction piles on your own, okay? I actually have two different activities that you can do that go along with the lesson I just taught you today. The first activity you're going to find in your Epic account. If you go to your mailbox, you're going to find a new collection of books that's titled Fiction or Nonfiction. And inside that collection, you're going to see these 10 books. And what I want you to do is maybe look through the pages in some of the books, and you're going to need to decide or determine if each title is a fiction story or if it's a nonfiction book. And you can tell your parents or have your parents or grown-ups help you figure out which book is fiction and which is nonfiction. The second activity that you will find to go along with this lesson is going to be in your Classroom Seesaw account. So once you're logged into your Classroom account, you can select the Activities tab, and you're going to find this activity to complete. So here, you're going to look at the titles of books at the bottom, and you can drag them and sort them by fiction or nonfiction. And when you're finished, you can actually submit this activity to your teacher so that we can see if you were able to find books that were fiction or nonfiction. So kindergarten readers, I hope you guys are excited as I am to dive into some nonfiction reading. And in true reading workshop fashion, I want you to think about the 3 magic words that Mrs. Curtis, Mrs. Noack, and I say at the end of every lesson before we send you off to do the activities. Can you remember what we always say? Yes, you're right. Off you go. So I hope you guys have fun doing these activities this week, and off you go. We will see you soon. Bye.